So, what is going on YouTube? This is Sam from TeamSamuraiX1 here, and today guys, I'm coming at you with my Crystron deck profile, the deck that you guys have all been waiting for, the deck that you guys have been asking me to make, and it's one of the most requested decks I actually ever gotten. So I'm so sorry guys, it took me quite some time to produce you guys this list. It was because I've been trying to give you guys the best list possible. I've been playing this deck, playtesting this deck for quite some time, trying different cards in the deck, trying different engines in the deck, but to be honest guys, the deck truly needs all its OCG supports. But for now, this deck is a really fun deck. It's a really heavy synchro based deck, and the amount of cool combos that you can do in this deck is absolutely amazing. So you know what? We do need the level 9, of course, the Glion Gander. That's going to be coming out, in I believe in Raging Tempest, and also of course the Safafnir, the level 5 Crystron monster. So we definitely need that as well. So I can't wait for those guys to come out because it would definitely boost the deck even more. But for now, this is my current list that I have, and before I start with this deck profile, I just want to give a huge shout out to my boy Trios. He has a YouTube channel. He's a dedicated Crystron player. His deck ever since it came out, and he made some disgusting combos with making Infinity, making Ultimaya with Crystron. So if you guys want to check out his channel, make sure you guys check it out. I'll leave a link in the description box below. He actually helped me with some of the card choices in this list. I'll start with the monsters real quick. Let's go up with our tuners because these are the most important aspect of the deck. So of course, triple Crystron Citri. What this card does is that basically during your opponent's main phase or battle phase, you can target one non-tutor monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effect is negated, if any, and if you do, immediately after this card resolves, synchro summon a machine type synchro monster using that monster in this card, and this card and the monster will get banished, which is pretty awesome. So you know what, this card basically revives the monster, immediately synchros into your level 5/4 machine type monsters, synchro monsters, and then banishes them once they touch the grave, which is pretty awesome. Well, instead of touching the grave, it'll get banished. So of course, triple Crystron Citri. Of course, next I play triple Crystron Quan. Only 2 copies of the card. I feel like you only need 2 copies of him. I feel like Citri is definitely more important in the deck. So since this card synchros from the grave, this card synchros from the hand, which is pretty cool. And the monsters that are sent to the graveyard will not be banished, but they'll remain in the graveyard, which is pretty awesome. So triple Crystron Quan. Next off to your other, Crystron monsters, non-tuner monsters. Of course, we're gonna play triple Smiger. This card, and of course this Sovereign. Okay, I believe that these cards, the level 3s, are the most important aspect of the decks aside from the tuners as of now. Before, of course, Fafnir comes out, these cards are the most important. So what this card, the purple dude, does, basically you can banish this card from your graveyard to search a Crystron monster from your deck to your hand, which is pretty awesome. So this card is your reinforcement of the army, and this card, what you do is that you banish the card from your graveyard to search a Crystron spell or trap card from your deck to your hand, which is pretty awesome. So this is really good because it searches out your Crystron impact, the strongest trap card, the strongest Crystron trap card in the deck, which is pretty cool. And there's some combos with these guys right here. And the reason why you play these guys right here is because one, with Smiger or Purple Dude with Quan, he makes it level 4, so you can make a Quandax. And of course, with Citri and level 3 makes a Matrix, which is level 5, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, so the searcher. These cards are both searchers when you banish them, and their primary effects basically once per turn you can destroy a card on the field, especially a Crystron tuner from the deck, which is pretty awesome. So you can just summon himself, pop himself, special summon Citri, and then set your back rows and pass, and then during your opponent's turn you can activate Citri's effect, revive back Smiger or the purple dude, and then synchro summon into, of course, your Matrix. Next off, you guys want to play, of course, 2 Turtle. What Turtle does is that when this card gets banished, you can banish this card from graveyard, especially a Crystron monster for your hand, which is pretty awesome. So the card basically extends your combo plays. And next, last but not least, for our last Crystron monsters, you of course want to play double Crystron Rosenix. What Rosenix does is that you can basically banish Rosenix from the graveyard, especially a token, which is pretty awesome. The token can easily be popped with one of your Crystron's monster to tutor out, of course, your Citri or Quan from the deck. So that's pretty much it for your Crystron monsters. The triple copies of the purple dude right here, the bird, and of course Smiger, which is really important to play. I believe that the 3s are the most important levels in this deck. Yeah, so I'm so sorry guys for the glare over there. So that's pretty much it. It's very standard Crystron lineup right there. Okay, and next off, for our other engine, of course, we're gonna play, of course, D1 Tecton Quick Draw Synchron. This card is really good because you are playing what is called Starlight Junction, which is this field spell of the deck, and I'll explain to you guys further on what Starlight Junction does. But Quick Draw Synchron is really good. It helps you make Ultimaya and also helps you make Cyber Dragon Infinity as well, because this card is a machine monster. So of course, 1 Quick Draw Synchron. Next, this is another engine that I incorporated, the triple Speedboard Terratop, and of course the 1 Target Tomborg. I feel like Dante is just really really important in this deck because all your Crystron monsters have effects in the graveyard. So this card, you can banish itself from the graveyard, especially a token. This card banishes itself from the graveyard, especially a monster from hand. This card searches a Crystron monster, and of course, Smyger searches a Crystron spawn trap card. So these cards all activate their effects in the graveyard. So if you're able to go Dante and only one of these cards to the graveyard, it's absolutely really, really good. Especially milling Smyger to the graveyard, which is really awesome because you can just banish Smyger, search the Crystron impact, and you can easily just get Smyger back with Crystron impact, which is pretty awesome. So of course, going to Dante is really, really good. And for the sole purpose that these cards are level 3, you can go Citree into into Speedboard Terratop or Taki Tomborg, single for your level 5 in Matrix, which is pretty awesome. So the level, since they're just level 3, just makes the deck makes this engine really, really viable. And going Dante is really good cards. Sending all your resources to the grave is just really, really amazing. So triple Terratop, of course, one Taki Tomborg, and last but not least, you play double Maxi. Maxi is pretty good too because you know it's a really good card overall against the current meta, and also it's a level 2, so you can revive back with your Citree to make a Quandax, which is pretty awesome. So that's pretty much it for your Crystron and of course your other supporting engines. So that's pretty much it for your monsters. Let's go off to your spell. You guys want to play, of course, double dimension, different dimension Deep Sea Trench. You guys are probably wondering, Sam, what the heck is this card? I never seen this card before, and let me tell you guys, this card comes in the Abyss Rising. Not a lot of people know about this card, but especially in Crystron, this card is actually really, really powerful since it actually extends your combo plays and also helps you increase the ceiling of the deck, which is pretty awesome. So different dimension Deep Sea Trench does that. When this card resolves, banish one water monster from your hand, graveyard, or face up on the field. Then when this face up card is on the field is destroyed, special summon that banished monster to your side of the field. So what you can basically do with different dimension Deep Sea Trench is that, so let's say you can, let's say you open up this, okay? So let's say you open up, you know, this is like the combo, like, you know, there's not really real big combos, in this deck, but I'll showcase you guys these 3-card combo throughout the end of the video. It's not a really big combo, but it's a cool play that you can do with these cards in your hand. But anyways, guys, Deep Sea Trench, basically, you know, you can easily pop it with one of your Crystron monsters. So basically, get that Crystron monster that was banished back, since all the Crystron monsters are water type, which is pretty awesome. So different dimension Deep Sea Trench actually has a lot of synergy with this deck, which is pretty cool. So different dimension Deep Sea Trench is really, really good overall as a spell card. I'll explain to you guys further throughout the end of the deck profile, because not all of you guys love it when I do combos midway through your decks. You guys get mad at me, so I'm gonna save that to the end of the video. Of course, double Starlight Junction, and of course one Terraforming. Starlight Junction is a really good card because it's one of your power plays of the deck. Basically, this deck focuses on synchro summoning on your opponent's turn, and what Starlight Junction's effect is that if you synchro summon during your opponent's turn, you basically get to bounce a card back into the deck, which is pretty cool. So you go Citree, synchro summon into a Matrix, okay, or you go into what is it called, Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, bounce back 2 cards, once off of course the Moonlight and one off the Starlight Junction, which is pretty awesome. So this card is one of the greatest power plays in the deck. So you do play double Starlight Junction and one Terraforming to search a Starlight Junction, which is pretty awesome. And of course, this card also has access to Quick Draw Synchron as well. You can tribute a tuner monster to basically special summon one single monster from your deck with a different level than the tribute monster, which is pretty awesome. So that way that you can actually make your own, what is it called, your Cyber Dragon Infinity or your Ultima Dezoken, which is pretty nice. So, yep, and next we're going to play one Soul Charge. I feel like Soul Charge is actually a very powerful card, especially in this deck. You can basically revive back all your monsters and then pass to your opponent's turn and basically do all the synchro summoning on their turn, especially combo out with Starlight Junction, which is really good in my personal opinion. So one Soul Charge. Next, of course, you play one Upstart Goblin. Last but not least, double Twin Twister and Pot of Acquisitiveness. Really good because this deck requires you to banish a lot of cards, and recycling your banished monsters is really good. It's really good against the ABC matchup as well, because when your opponent attempts to banish the Buster to bring out all their 3 monsters that was banished, you can go Pot of Acquisitiveness, the 3 monsters, and return them back to the deck, which is pretty awesome. So this card is really amazing. It also helps you draw 1 card, which is pretty cool, and also helps recycle your own Crystron monster as well. Off to our traps, guys. Shout outs to Akka. I was playing double copies of Crystron Impact, but like, this card is just so powerful to not play at 3. Shout out goes to Akka again for giving me a suggestion to actually bump this card up to 3. This is really good because you can target one of your banished Crystron monsters, which you're most likely gonna have banished within the first or second turn. And what you do is you basically get to special summon it. And the secondary effect is really good because during either player turn, except the turn this card is sent to the graveyard, when a card or effect is activated that targets a Crystron monster you can banish card from your graveyard and negate the effect, which is pretty cool. So anything that targets a Crystron monster, banish card Crystron from your grave, stop the targeted effect, which is pretty awesome. Crystron Impact is really good, and also you can search it off Smyger, which is pretty awesome as well. And basically, you banish Smyger, get this, you can activate Impact on your opponent's turn to basically get the Smyger back, which is pretty cool. So triple Crystron Impact, really good. It also helps you with your single plays, and only one Crystron entry. This card isn't that great, but it does come up sometimes. It basically requires you to special summon a Crystron tuner monster, one from your hand and one from your graveyard, and which is pretty cool. And then during other player's turn, except the turn card is set to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard and target one Crystron monster you control. Send one Crystron monster from your deck to the graveyard, whose level is different from that monster, and if you do, that monster becomes a level of that monster sent to the graveyard. You can only use the effect of Crystron entry one that is sent. So let's say that you basically target, let's say you target a Citri, okay, and you send, of course, the Rosenix to the graveyard. Citri will become a level 4, which is pretty cool. Last but not least, the Solemn Brigades, one Solemn Warning and triple Solemn Strike. This deck has a really hard time against the ABC matchup, so you want to go first, set all your Solemns as much as you can, and basically just explode on them within your opponent's turn with cards like Junction and things like that. So Solemn Strike is a really good card overall against the meta call, and I believe that is, the Solemn Brigade is just really powerful to play. So that's pretty much it for your main deck, guys. Let's go off to the side deck real quick. Side deck is always up to personal preference on what you guys want to play, but this is so far what I have for my side deck. For our side deck, of course, you want to play double anti-spell fragrance, for the pendulum matchup. Really good. Of course, if Charles, you're watching this video, I want my systems downs back, but right now I am playing triple systems down. My friend Charles is borrowing it at the moment, so just triple systems down is really good. And the really problem about this deck is that it's all machines. So if you're trying to play this deck in a competitive way, rather than playing it more of a fun-based deck, you're gonna be facing against triple systems down all the time, because systems down is so good against ABC, and this deck happens to be all machines, so systems down definitely just destroys this deck. So yeah, guys, so triple systems down, of course, double Gamma Seal to get rid of that friggin' what is called ABC Buster. Double Dimensional Barrier is really awesome. One Spirit Dragon, one ABC Buster Dragon, one totally awesome, just because for your sexy cherries right here, which is pretty cool. So that's pretty much it for your side deck, guys. Side deck is always up to personal preference on what you guys want to play. I just love to showcase you guys on some of the possibilities of cards that you guys can play in your side deck. Now let's go off to your extra deck real quick. I love the extra deck. It's actually my favorite part of the video. So of course, we're gonna play triple Crystron Quandax. This card is your Formula Synchron of the deck, which is really awesome. And you basically play on your opponent's turn, which is Quandax, which is really cool. Level 4 Machine Synchro Tuner monster, which is pretty awesome. It also has a 2K booty, which is pretty nice. And you can easily tutor it out. Next, of course, double Crystron the Matrix. Really good cards, level 5, so that way you can go into Cyber Dragon Infinity, and also helps you go into Ultimate Zoken. Basically, what these Crystron monster does, that if this is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can basically target one Crystron monster in the graveyard, except for Synchro monster, and special summon it. So basically, these guys floats from the graveyard, which is pretty cool. So double Crystron Quandax and the Matrix. And what a Matrix does is that if this card is synchro summoned, you can change all face-up special summon monster your opponent controls to defense position. So if your opponent has a board, they're trying to OTK you, that would all full special summon monsters. You can activate C3 effects, revive, of course, the Smyger or the purple dude, and synchro it into a Matrix. And the Matrix will change all those monsters to a defense position, which is pretty awesome. So Crystron and Matrix is really good overall. After level 6, you guys can play either the Speed or level 6, but I chose to play the Power and Zectron. Card is really good. Basically, its effect is that when this card is synchro summoned, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effect. Also, you take no damage this turn, which is pretty cool. But you guys can also play the Speed board. You guys can play whatever you guys want for level 6, but I recommend playing the Power and Zectron. Aka actually gave me an advice to actually play Power and Zectron over the Speed board, because this card is an overall better card because it can be destroyed, and also you take no damage of the turn. So this card is okay at most. Next, of course, one Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, one Black Rose Dragon, because you can make it on your opponent's turn. One Side Frame Lord Omega, one Crystal Wing, because you can make it with Ultimaya, which is pretty awesome. This card is one of the power plays off the deck. One Ultimaya Zoken, one Trishula Dragon the Ice Bear, and last but not least, one Crystron Phoenix. This card is your Harpy Feather Duster of the deck, and when this card dies, he basically floats any monster from the graveyard, which is pretty awesome. Of course, Gander is definitely the better version of this card. We're definitely waiting on, Raging Tempest for, Crystron Gander, and of course the Fafnir, which is pretty awesome. But for now, only play one Crystron, of course, Phoenix. After your, other monsters, one Cyber Dragon Infinity, one Cyber Dragon Nova, and last but not least, one Dante Traveler of the Burning Abyss for your Speedrow engine. Card's really good. You can make it with, of course, double a Matrix or, Matrix with Quick Draw Synchron. Depending on the situation that you were in, you can either go into Ultimate with Quick Draw Synchron, and of course your Matrix, or you can either overlay the Matrix Quick Draw Synchron into your Cyber Nova and into your Cyber Dragon Infinity. It all depends on the current situation, but since you have cards like Soul Charge, you can easily provide them back and make these bad boys right here, which is pretty awesome. So that's pretty much it for your extra deck, guys. Let me showcase you guys the quick combo that I wanted to show you with Deep Sea Trench. Let's say, so Deep Sea, it's not really big, or you can have this on the field. Like, it all depends. Like, if you have this, right, it's like in your hand, what you can basically do is that it basically enables you to normal summon again, it's kind of like a Brilliant Fusion in a way. So you go into a different dimension, Deep Sea Trench, banish of course the Smiger, so this card is banished. You can go normal summon the purple dude, activate this dude's effect to pop this, to special summon Tree from the deck. No, not Tree. You can special summon a Quan from the deck, and since this card is destroyed, you basically get special summon the Smiger, okay? And now what you can do is you can overlay these two right here, not overlay, synchro summon these two to the graveyard to special summon the Quandax. Right here, and then what you do is you activate Smiger's effect, banish the Smiger, okay, and then you search the Crystron Impact. And during your opponent's turn, what you can do is that you can, during your opponent's turn, since this is banished, you can go into, Crystron Impact, special summon this, synchro this into a level 7, which is a Moonlight. Moonlight or Black Rose, doesn't matter. So let's say you go Moonlight, okay? Moonlight will bounce back a monster your opponent control, and if you have a Starlight Junction on the field, you basically get to bounce back another card, which is pretty awesome. So that's another cool play that you can do. And then during your turn, you can banish the Smiger again to search another Crystron Impact, and basically just extend your combo plays from there. And or what you can do at this point is that since you have this on board right here, if you open up this bad boy right here, Crystron, the turtle instead, what you can do, okay, it's basically the same thing, but let's say you open up these right here, the 3 cards instead. You can make Trishula on your opponent's turn, which is pretty awesome. So you go, Trench, banish the Smiger, summon turtle pop this, special summon Smiger, and of course special summon the Quan, synchro these two into the Quandax. Okay, and then banish Smiger to search this Impact, set Impact, and during your opponent's turn, you can go into, go Crystron Impact, bring Smiger, and then, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, synchro summon these two right here into a Trishula during your opponent's turn and just wreck their crap up, which is pretty awesome. So that's like some cool combos that you can do with Deep Sea Trench, which is pretty awesome. And then during your opponent's turn again, during your turn, if you have a monster in your hand, banish this card, especially the Crystron monster in your hand, banish this card to search up another Crystron Impact, which is pretty awesome. So that's pretty much it for this deck profile, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about this current list. I believe that this list is actually pretty decent, and you guys should definitely test it out yourself. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And again, a huge shout out goes to my boy Aka Trios for giving me a lot of suggestions on Crystrons. Make sure you guys check his channel out in the link in the description box below. This is Sam from Team Sam signing out. Alright guys, peace.